All right. So we should have this so far. Okay, so we have our icon, our large icon, and then we've created this this vector graphic right here, which is this black box. And so now we're going to go more into what iframe is. So an inline frame or iframe is used to create a page within a page. So if you had a table or something from one page that you needed to also show in another page, you could do that. So any HTML page can be content for the iframe element. Students have probably noticed iframe used in a video when you embed it onto a web page. So for example, when you go to a YouTube video, there's a share option that says embed. And this code is an example of an HTML iframe that you can put into your own web page. So here are the attributes: source, height, width, and seamless. So just for an image, the value of source is the URL, so the website of the HTML page you're displaying in the frame. The value of the height and width specify the height and width of the frame in pixels. You need to make sure that you keep the aspect ratio the same. We can go over that later. Basically, keep the same height to width ratio. So if you double the height of the original video, you need to double the width of the original video, just so that things aren't blurry or squished together and you can actually see it. Seamless attribute does not need a value. If you include this attribute, the contents of the iframe will appear as seamlessly part of the web page containing the iframe, and there will be no visible borders or scroll bars. We're not going to worry about that though. So we're going to try this example code without height and width parameters. So we're going to go ahead and type this below our SVG. So we're going to do iframe source is equal to quotations HTTPS. It's our protocol www.youtube.com/embed/ and make sure you type this exactly how it looks. If you do not, it will not be the same video, and it won't work. Okay, so then we go up to File, Save, and I'm going to refresh my website, and now I have a video here. Okay, so that video is playable, but notice it is also very small, and you may not be able to see a lot of this. So what we do need to make sure we do is we would adjust the height and width. Okay, so we're going to go into our iframe at the very beginning. Width equals 560, height is equal to 315. Alright, file, save, come back over here and refresh. Now it's a lot bigger. Okay, that's a lot more manageable, and you can actually start to see some of the things. So make sure you are adjusting. Okay, a good rule of thumb is to keep the ratio, so 560 pixels wide to 315 tall. That's roughly, it's not a half, it's more like 2/3, somewhere around there. 3/5, yeah, about 3/5. So basically, if you wanted to make this bigger, you would double it. So 1120 by 630. Okay, I'll save, refresh, and now it's a lot bigger, twice as big. But you don't want to change one and not the other, or have a weird combination here, because it's just going to make things not appear right. You can see it's like cut off and it's taller. So keep the ratio, but if you're going to increase one side by one number, make sure you increase it by the same value. Okay. All right. Also, most videos are going to be wider than they are tall. keep that in mind. If your width values are lower than your height, make sure your video is shot to be taller than it is wide. So you can play with that a little bit just to see what it would look like. So to protect their content, some external sites will deny your code's attempt to place their web page on your site in an iframe or otherwise. So this is copyright. So if something happens and you try and copy someone's video and it won't load, it's because you're violating their copyright. So you just need to find a different video or make your own video. So you can add a video to your web page in much the same way you add other media. So each video element has one required attribute, which is the source, like the source attribute of the image element. The value of the source is the address of the video file. You can also provide the width and height for the video in pixels between the opening and closing video tags. Add a line of text describing the video, which will display if the browser cannot play the video. Students should use the MP4 video file for practice. You should be sure to save it to your multimedia subfolder for your website as well as to your Google Drive. So I will put this in the okay, so I have put this into my multimedia folder inside my content folder inside of my websites. Alright, so now I just have the video file here and I'm type in this code. Create a line. So then I'm going to do the video tag. Alright, and then come back up in here. Source equals ... content multimedia video example .mp4 width 600 height equals 400. The default measurement is always going to be pixels. You can set it to other measurements, but not advised. Alright, so then we're going to do a paragraph here for a caption, full iframe video, and then close the video tag. Alright, so file save. And then here we go. Okay. Just showing it as a...
Hello internet people. In this quick video...
Okay, so the video does work. Show controls. Okay, so you might have to right click because we haven't set up controls yet. Alright. So, any other videos that you may want to use for the apply part, so the actual assignment part, can be downloaded from your own devices or by using a video downloader such as Streamable. You need to make sure you save these video files to their website folder locally as well as your drive, so make sure you just constantly upload into your drive so you have a backup. So just as with your picture element, instead of source, you can use multiple source elements to allow for video being offered in different formats. So they should include the source attribute as well as type to indicate the type of video. So MP4 or OGG or web. Most common is going to be what MP4, but it depends on what if you download it from like a website somewhere, their files might be different. You just need to make sure you pay attention to that. So there's a whole thing of other attributes you can do. If you do loop, it will keep replaying. I would definitely do control so that the person can pause and play and adjust the volume, things like that. Or you can have it so that you can specify the next video to go along with it, so on and so forth. So if we look here, our type is video/MP4, so you can do video/OGG, video/WebM. We just need to add the controls here. slide over. Controls. I'll save. Okay, I was trying to figure out what was happening here. So they move the source. No, they move the source into a different section. Okay. You can do that obviously, but leaving it as it is probably fine too. So source. Type equals video before. So go over height, width, and controls on one. I'll make sure this updates correctly. Okay, so I got volume control, full screen, picture in picture. Okay. All right. So audio. I'm going to give you this audio into the Google assignment as well. So make sure you download that. All right, so we're going to type in this code. So audio controls, because obviously we need controls to do your audio. Source is equal to, and then we do our pathway. Make sure you type everything correctly. However your folders are written out or labeled, and then the file name. In case you did not know, MP4 files are video, MP3 are always audio. So if you see an MP4 and you're trying to put it as an audio, it probably won't work. So just a little tidbit of information there for you. Okay, file save, refresh, and now I have a little icon here.
It's amazing how even though you can show that something.
So I can play the video, and my controls are play, pause, and then mute. All right. So now you need to explore other web pages to inspect your images and other multimedia elements. Note that different browsers may vary in how you access this information. So it could be, you click on this link to go to this page to watch this video, or it might just have it embedded, or there might be sound that automatically plays while you are on the website. So there's several different ways. So open a browser, go to a website you like that has images, scroll over an image and see whether any additional text pops up. Right click directly on an image to get information about that image's properties such as size, or to have the option to download the image. This part is very important. Okay, if you download an image, make sure you write down the information about it. Okay, so that when you put it into your website, you put it in with the correct ratio. And what you can actually do is, if you downloaded an image, right-click it, and go to Properties. It'll tell you, if you go to your details, your width and height. Okay, so dimensions 512 wide by 512 high. This one is a lot wider, so 1000 by 484 or 485. So make sure you keep those the same, otherwise things start to get squashed, stretched, and blurry. So we don't want that. All right. If you have the ability to, I don't think Chrome does, especially on campus, use the inspection tool. Right-click on a web page and go to Inspect or Developer Tools, and check out how they do their website coding. So this was the lesson, so make sure you keep all of this kind of around, and I will be posting a video about the assignment.